Well, the battle for Ajdabiya was swift and fierce, there's no doubt about that, but it's much more to do with the R.A.F. actions from above than it is anything to do with the rebel fighters here. That's a 60-ton tank. The rebels haven't got anything that can throw that on its back that easily. Here's where the turret landed. These are the eastern gates to the city, the closest bit of Ajdabiya to Benghazi. The road actually swings past the city, heading west. And it's important to remember, it wasn't Ajdabiya itself that was important to Gaddafi's forces, it was the access, the road to Benghazi. When Gaddafi's troops came here, the people fled for their lives. This isn't Misrata or Zawiya, where the population can stand and fight and hold out. It's too small for that. And also people were fearful that Gaddafi's troops would sweep through here and head on to Benghazi, leaving them on the wrong side. But they're starting to come home again now. We're moving out towards the western side of the city now, and there's more evidence of the R.A.F. strikes. This gives you an idea of what a brimstone missile can do, fired from a tornado high up above. Here's a T-72, old Russian-made tank. And again, this has taken a direct hit. You can see the turret's been lifted completely off. You might wonder why Colonel Gaddafi's soldiers didn't flee earlier. Well, we gather that a certain general with a brutal reputation, Abil Qasim Ibrahim al-Ganga, was sent here after establishing a pretty brutal reputation fighting in the south on the border with Chad, to make sure that the soldiers didn't run away. In the event, he's been captured, we believe now held in Benghazi, and his soldiers did indeed run away. And look how poorly positioned these tanks are. They're out in the open, right by a main road, no attempt to give them any kind of cover. We're assuming that most of the crews didn't sleep or hang around near their vehicles too long. Look, here's another one, right out in the open. I mean, as far as the R.A.F. spotters are concerned, they're sitting ducks. The local people are telling us there were thousands of tanks here. We're not too sure about that. These old Russian T-72s can't get very far on their own. They would have needed this kind of low-loading transportation for that. Now, we're right at the western gates now of Ajdabiya. This is where most of the troops were concentrated and where we've seen most evidence of the airstrikes. It's much more likely that the troops abandoned their tanks and just fled, leaving their vehicles behind. They may have gone west to get out of here, away from the R.A.F. strikes.